Welcome to Saturday's Warrior. I got my good buddy Chris here with me today, and we are going to be drafting Quidditch teams based off of or with real athletes. And so, Chris, thanks for joining me to do this.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It's summer, things are slow with sports, so we're getting a little bit wild here today. And I always thought this was a fun discussion with buddies. Like, okay, who would you have on your ideal Quidditch team? So I figured, why not run through, do a draft, and pick our teams, and then we can leave it up to viewers to see whose team they think would win. And so what we have here is so we'll track. We're doing a snake draft, and Chris has requested to go second and third, and so I will make the first pick, and we'll go through the whole draft, and we'll be able to. And so we're doing each position from Quidditch. There's keeper, three chasers, two beaters, a seeker, and then we're also doing an alternate because um, I always thought that it was interesting in Harry Potter. They only had 7 people on their team at any time. I was like, well, in a game like this, you're bound to have injuries, and going so long, matches could go for days potentially that they didn't have an alternate. So we're including an alternate on here. And my before we get started, I just gotta say, like, you can tell Quidditch was invented by somebody that didn't know anything about sports. Uh, the premise that the seeker and catching the snitch is worth 150 points basically renders almost every other position pointless in most matches, I would assume. And so I really think it would have been much more interesting if she would have had it at maybe like 50 points, because now we're talking, that seems realistic that there could be a team and you're down by 50 or more points, but you see the snitch. So what do you do? And so anyway, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Quidditch, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept. It's kind of like sky soccer slash cricket, and yeah, like I agree with you on the points. Like you got to make it interesting, but it's a wild game. It's a wild game. I mean, the amount of uh, the amount of skill it takes to do that stuff on a broom. I don't know that I could even do it. It's like hockey level.
But which is why today, um, we're drafting our ideal teams, and so I've got the first pick. So we'll say that I am on the clock now, Chris.
All right.
Um, so let's see. For my first pick, I'm going to pick a chaser, and I am taking Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh,
I figure, and he's going to be a chaser. So I figure
interesting.
he's got the arm, and he's really good at all sorts of kind of odd shots and side arms and things like that. And I think that's really going to help him with the angles, getting around the defenders.
Very nice. Good pick. So that puts me on the clock. All right. So I'm defensive minded when it comes to a game like Quidditch. I want to make sure that people just don't score. And so I'm going with Dominic Hasek. Dominic Hasek was one of the best goalies to ever do it. But I mean that epic 70 save shutout game that he did, back in his career, and all those playoff shutouts, you can't deny that.
All right. Well, oh, and you got the third pick as well.
And
That's a great
yeah,
one.
third pick, I'm going to take a seeker, and I'm going to take Minka Fitzpatrick. And the reason I take Minka Fitzpatrick as a seeker because Minka's a ball hawk. So the minute that seeker is released on the field, I know that I've got somebody who's going to pursue it.
And this is your seeker,
Yeah, that's my seeker.
which is obviously like the most important position. So that's a smart one to take off the board. Let me see here. So since you've already done seeker, I'm not as worried about that. I want to get talk about defense. I want somebody that can help me do some damage. So I'm taking a beater, and I am taking Aaron Judge.
Ooh.
Figure he can crank it like the rest, with the best of them, and that is not a bludger I'd like to get hit by. So Aaron Judge. Another chaser. I am going with Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah?
3-point shooter extraordinaire. I know it's a little bit different than shooting in a hoop. That vertical instead of horizontal. But I think if anyone can do it off a broom, it's going to be Steph.
Okay. That puts me back on the board. I'm going to go with a beater, and I'm going with Patrick Mahomes as my beater. Can I do that, or because you have him, I can't?
Oh, I drafted him. Sorry.
Ah, okay, then very well. I'll take my alternate beater, which is Aaron Rodgers.
As a beater.
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers as a beater because a beater needs to have pinpoint accuracy, and Aaron Rodgers is one of the most accurate throwers in the game. So you give him something, give him a weighted bludger, and let him throw that at you.
All right. And you're still on the clock. So
All right. And then as a chaser, so my chaser, those are my scorers. I'm going to take Cristiano Ronaldo as my chaser, a guy that can find the goal.
the chaser. So it's not against the rules to use your feet. So you think he's going to be a chaser that's going to be kicking goals?
Yeah, hey, whatever it takes to win. He's accurate.
I like it. I hadn't considered that. Well, okay. So for my seeker, I had a couple thoughts. One, I was thinking an outfielder might be a great idea. Somebody who can, snag the ball, see it, in hard circumstances. You're looking up, there's the lights, you can see it, chase it down, grab it. But a lot of outfielders are a bit bigger and taller, and you need somebody lean and small on a broom. And so I think I am going to take for my seeker somebody who's smaller, slight of frame. I also thought of doing like a jockey, but nobody knows any famous jockeys. So, but I
No.
figured, small, fast, that would be ideal. But I'm picking a world-class athlete, top of his game, small, but knows how to move, knows how to cut, understands angles. I'm picking Lionel Messi.
Oh.
And also, so you can't put him on your team.
Very good.
So that is my seeker. Now, let's see here. I'm going to go with my other beater. I am going to take John Eisner of the tennis fame. I looked it up. He is the active tennis player with the fastest recorded serve.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very nice.
If Quidditch were played on clay, I would take Rafael Nadal, of course. But I figured that's another person that knows how to swing. He's got the racket instead of a bat, so it's going to be a little bit different. But the ball is a lot bigger. And again, understanding angles, can really swing that thing, get it moving, and I hope he can get lots of aces in terms of hitting the opposing team off their broom. So.
All right.
You're up.
I'm back up. So my next chaser is Alex Ovechkin.
Oh.
The guy who can find the goal.
Okay.
All right.
You have him as a chaser as well.
Huh?
As a chaser.
Yeah, I've got him as a chaser. Yeah. Just looking for guys who can score.
Okay.
Hockey guys can score from a distance, which is why my next one's also a hockey player.
That's true. And they got small nets. So,
they do.
They're used to that.
My next one's also a hockey player, Sidney Crosby.
Sid the Kid. All right. Nice. Okay. Well, that is quite the duo. All right. Let's see. Oh, that was your other chaser. So I'm down to 3 picks. Okay. So I'm going to take for my keeper. This is one I went back and forth on a bit. I was going to take so you and I did a little differently. You were taking, I took all active athletes. I was going to take a hockey goalie. I thought about that. One, I don't follow the NHL as closely anymore, but also figured they got one small net and a bunch of pads. I need somebody that can move, cover 3 nets. I thought about looking at, soccer, and getting a goalie. It seems much more natural, much more aligned with that. Hope Solo, maybe? No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to go with. Actually, I'm not going to because I had to look him up. I'm not familiar with him. I was going to take Thibaut Courtois, which he's a Belgium keeper. He plays in, I don't even remember. I believe the Premier League. But the fact that I had to look him up, but apparently he's like the best goalie in the world. I'm not going to go with him because I wasn't as familiar with him, so that doesn't seem right. But I am going to take instead Giannis.
Okay.
Long reach. He's been defensive player of the year. He's knows how to protect the hoop. Now he's just got 3 of them, but that's somebody who can cover ground. So I'm going to use him as my keeper. That was a tough one, but I not now that I have him locked in, I think he'd be killer. Like you're just not getting around that reach, and you know that he's fast and he can cover lots of ground. Even if you think he's going to close
Yeah.
and swat that thing away. And next, I am going to take as a chaser, my last chaser, I am taking Justin Verlander.
Oh,
On your list?
he is.
Oh, I should have taken him sooner. So, he grew up down the street from me, so my mom knows his mom, so I got to take him. He was on the Tigers, and you know what? He's still got it. He's got a filthy pitch, so it'll be a little bit different holding a bigger ball, getting that in. But you know that he can throw that thing, and find his spots.
Good job. All right. Yeah, I was gonna take Verlander as a beater. Like I said, just speed and accuracy. But you took him from me. So my other beater was actually a retired pitcher, but same kind of velocity, if not more, as Randy Johnson.
Ooh, hopefully there's no pigeons flying by out on the Quidditch pitch. And last is your last pick.
Oh, I have a chaser left, don't I?
Alternate. So
It's
you
an
can kind of
alternate.
go any direction.
So my alternate then would be Tyreek Hill as a seeker.
So let's see. Alternate. And my last pick, I am also taking T Hill. I am taking the Swiss Army knife of the NFL, Taysom Hill. Also, a little bit of a homer pick for me.
Homer, yeah.
But tell me what
I
he
took
can.
a homer pick too, though.
So, I mean, if you think about it, so he's a quarterback, so you know he can throw it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I need him to be a chaser, he can do it. He's a beater. I've seen him, video of him in the batting cage doing it with Drew Brees. He's strong. He can be defensive. He can tackle. He can do it all. I have
Yeah,
no doubt, and he's fast. I have no doubt if I needed a seeker in a pinch that I could put him in, and that he'd be speedy. So really, there's not really a position I don't think he could fill in for. So
that's good.
he's kind of my catch-all. Whoever gets injured, you can put in Taysom and feel like you got a good replacement.
There you go. That's good. That's good.
I don't know. I think it'd be a good match. I'm glad I picked Verlander when I did, though.
Yeah, you took him from me. You took him in. I think you took him in. You took Patrick Mahomes
Mahomes.
from me.
That's right.
I have
Although
Mahomes.
I understand your logic for beater, but I think you had a misplaced. I think as a chaser is really his true calling. Again, it's those angles. He can do those side arms, and he can really find those spots. And he can sling it downfield too. I mean, he's got all those tools in his tool
Yeah,
bag. All right, excellent. So we'll leave it now to the viewers to decide. Let us know in the comments which team of these two do you think would win in a Quidditch match? And I also want to hear what athletes did we leave off? Who would you put on your ultimate real life Quidditch team if you could pick any athlete across all sports? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to like the video and subscribe. And we will see you next time.